Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 1971 Lincoln pennies, the United States 1-cent coin. And many of you know that this is a real special year, the 1971. Actually, in 1970, 71, and 72, they had some really interesting coins, and they were called the double die obverse coins. Now, when you look for these coins, obverse means front, and these coins are found in a Philadelphia version, which means it will have no mint mark on it. So one of the first things we should do then is actually go right to this and look right up front and see if we can see any doubling. Where would the doubling be? Well, the doubling would be up here generally and down here near the date, and we're not really seeing any. We can really magnify it even more, and we're seeing that there really isn't any doubling here. So this is not the coin that we're looking for. What would it look like if there was doubling? Well, PCGS, which is a coin grading agency, actually has some pictures on their website, and if you look at the website, you will see that they actually have, that's what the doubling looks like. So you can see here, here. When you have doubling on these, you'll know it if you have this kind of doubling. Some of these coins with that kind of doubling on them are going to be worth $13,000, $14,000. In fact, one sold, according to PCGS, in 2009 for 2019, I'm sorry, at Heritage Auctions for $14,400. So we don't have it. We don't have the real expensive one here, but we can certainly look through them and see what we do have, because some of these coins are still money. This coin is probably worth maybe $6 or $7. It's a 1971 Philadelphia mint coin. They made 1.9 million of them. These go, if you get to an MS65, as high as $20+. We tip it up. It says, "In God We Trust" on the front, "Liberty Behind Lincoln." 1971 here. A little bit of coloring here, but it doesn't really improve the look of the coin any. It has a smooth edge. And then we go to the back, and we see that it has the Lincoln Memorial. It says United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum here. We have some pretty good lines holding the roof up, so this isn't a floating roof here. Down here we see Lincoln way inside the Lincoln Memorial, sitting in that kind of concrete. Sometimes it looks kind of like a throne, but it's a chair, I guess. And then we see the steps coming down. At the very bottom, we see that it says 1 cent here. And way over to the side, we'll see that there are 2 letters on the side of the Lincoln Memorial, which aren't really there. They're just on the coin. An F and a G, and that's for Frank Gasparo, who was the engraver of the Lincoln Memorial cents, which came out in 1959. They switched over in 1959 from the old wheat ears cents. And when you hear people say the wheat ears, this is wheat on each side. And this is the top of the wheat's called the ears. It says E Pluribus Unum, 1 cent, United States of America. So quite a different back from the Lincoln Memorial back. Now, no, Frank Gasparo didn't do this one. Victor David Brenner did. And if we tip this way up, and we look right in there, right there, we can see a V, a D, and a B. And we can also see that in the newer pennies, because they kept his design and they kept his initials on them. So let's look on the 1971, and we can see it looks a little scratchy here. There we go. We have the V, the D, and the B there. So Victor David Brenner, who engraved these coins initially in 1909. All right, so the Philadelphia Mint one is there. The Denver Mint one is exactly the same. We see we have a little bit. See how we have the edge here is a little bit wider than the edge here, but we don't have anything really going off. So it's, even though the edge, it isn't perfectly set on the coin, there's no real value to this. In 1971 at Philadelphia, they made 1.9 million. At Denver, they made 2.9 million. And 2.9 million in the 70s, often Denver, the Denver Mint, made more pennies than the other mints did, mostly combined. And there was one other mint in 1971, and that's the San Francisco Mint. If we tip this up, we can see that the San Francisco Mint is designated here by an S. And the S coins, they made 500,000 at the San Francisco Mint. The Denver Mint, we should talk about the value. The Denver Mint in this shape is probably not worth much, maybe $1. But if you can get the Denver Mint in an MS-65, you're talking about $7 to $8. And if you can get the San Francisco Mint in an MS-65, you're talking about $7 to $10. So these coins can be valuable. They just have to be in pretty good shape, and they have to essentially be much better condition than these ones are. They were produced in uncirculated mint sets, and so you could get, there were 2.19 million of these uncirculated mint sets. They were also produced at, in the uncirculated mint sets, you got what was called a PDS set. So it would have a Philadelphia, a Denver, and a San Francisco Mint coin all in the same set. And that's what these here are. These are uncirculated coins from 1971. And you can buy them in a uncirculated mint set pack. Sometimes for as little as $5, you get the 3 pennies. You get 2 nickels, 2 dimes, 2 quarters, 2 half-dollars. But what you don't get in the 1971 is the Eisenhower half, because that was not included in the mint sets. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coin World. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comment section.